Hello YouTube, long time no see. I published my last video almost 3 months ago and I was preparing for the prestigious CISSP exam since then. And fortunately, I have cleared my exam this month, start of this month, and it was quite a journey. A lot of people have been asking me on LinkedIn how I cleared the exam, tips and tricks for the exam, what resources I used. So in this video, what I'll be doing is I'll be sharing my whole journey from start to end, how I booked the exam and what resources I used throughout the journey and what I did when I was closer to the actual exam. If you are new to this channel, my name is Piyush and you are watching Piyush Laboratory. So yeah, let's get into the main topic of this video, CISSP. So to start the journey or to book the exam, you can book it from the IC2 website itself. For me, it costed around somewhere around £700. And when you go to the IC2 website, you need to go through the process where you fill all your details, and it would redirect you to the Pearson website where you can select your center, date and time, and those necessary details about the exam. You can select and book the exam from there itself. So yeah, that's how you start your journey for the exam. Now there are two options for booking the exam. Either you can book a single try. There is also peace of mind protection which is provided by IC2, which costs somewhere around, I think, £750 or £800. I'm not sure about that cost, but yeah, you do have that option where you can buy peace of mind protection. And what happens with that is, even if you fail your first attempt, you can retry the exam without paying for your another retry. So yeah, that's the benefit of peace of mind protection. If you feel you're not enough confident that you'll clear the exam in the first try, even I was not sure, but I bought just a single try. Now keep in mind, when you are booking the exam, you need to set a deadline for yourself. So for myself, I did put a number of 2 months to prepare for this exam, and I thought this would be enough if I'll spend like dedicated amount of time for just this exam. For me, what happens is, if I would have put a longer deadline, I would have lost interest in it. So I thought of keeping it short, and 2 months was the right number I thought of, and booked my exam. Yeah, if you put a deadline to your exam, you will be more dedicated to it, more committed to the journey, because there is of course a reschedule fee as well. In most of the exams of other vendors, you don't find the reschedule fee, but with ISC2 you have to pay somewhere around like $50 to reschedule an exam if you want to push the date. Yeah, so that's about booking the exam. Now after booking the exam, I started my journey with some of the reading stuff, or with the books itself. You may have seen on a lot of videos, blogs, that OSG, Official Study Guide by Sybex, is the best resource. And I do agree to some extent, because it was one of the best resource I used during my CISSP journey. But the downside of it is it is very dry. You need to be prepared for reading like 1,000+ pages of this book. Yeah, I had ninth edition, and if I think there is a 10th edition available now. That was the first book in my journey, and it took me around 20 to 25 days to complete this book, because as I said, this book is very dry. You need to read a lot of text. I mean, just see, you won't see any interesting diagrams in this book. So yeah, be ready for reading a lot of text when you are going through it. Now my trick for reading the OSG was, I was going through the OSG domain by domain. After reading one domain, I used to go to the YouTube and watch destination mind map video for that particular domain, and that's how I was preparing my notes side by side and finalizing each domain during my journey. So that was the first tip: read one domain, watch the destination mind map videos. Those are the best resources for CISSP. Now, the second book I used during the preparation was Destination CISSP. This book is much more better than the OSG. It is crisp. Uh, I would say both books have their own benefits. There would be a lot of repetition as well, but this book was more interesting, more crisp. It has colorful pages and some diagrams as well to explain, and have like crisp definitions of each topic which can be utilized for your preparation. So that was the second book after OSG which I used for my preparation. And for reading this one, it took me like a week because this was more interesting and the language was easier than OSG, of course. In the second month, I used most of the practice questions. So my first app was LearnZ, and with LearnZ, again, what I used to do was I used to go through the destination CISSP book domain by domain. And the best part with destination CISSP book is it only has like 8 chapters, so domain wise, and you can go through the whole domain at once and practice the questions related to that on LearnZ app. So I used to read destination CISSP, let's say domain 1, and what I'll do on LearnZ app is practice. Let's say there are 300 questions or 200 questions related to domain 1. I would go through all those questions at once for that particular domain from LearnZ app, and I used that app for 2 weeks. The second question bank which I used was study notes and theory. It is very true that no question bank is anywhere closer to the actual exam, but with study notes and theory, I think it is the closest one which would prepare you for the exam, because most of the questions are similar to what you would see in the study notes and theory by Luke Ahmed practice questions. So that's one of the best resource for CISSP exam. I also used 50 hard questions for CISSP, and that I did a week before the exam. So yeah, that's the crux of all the resources. That was the only resources I used. Keep in mind, I have like 7+ years of experience in cybersecurity, and I have worked in consulting during my whole journey. So I have experience of different domains in cybersecurity, like pen test. I have worked with SOC teams. I have worked with development teams. So I have experience with all different areas of cybersecurity, and that of course helped me during the exam and the whole journey. Now, a week before the exam, 50 hard questions, how to think like a manager, by Luke Ahmed. These 2 videos, you must watch these videos, and these would put you in the right mindset for the exam. Now, on the exam day, my exam was 8 o'clock in the morning. I went to the center. During the whole exam, I was not confident that I will be able to pass this exam. I was literally banging my head on the CPU there, and I'm not sure, but the proctor would be watching me from behind. When I got the results, I was not so confident, of course, with the results. So I came back home, gave it to my wife, and she opened the letter and told me that I have passed the exam. But yeah, that's how it happened on the exam day. And it's completely normal. During the exam, you will feel that you won't be able to clear it. And I was going through a lot of Reddit posts as well, and I saw that this is the same experience many people had. So it is completely normal. Just be confident on what you have read. Use OSG very properly. I read it page to page. Destination CISSP. Then for practice questions, you can use LearnZ app or study notes and theory. So yeah, that was it for this video, and that was my whole journey. But if you have any questions regarding the exam, you can reach out to me on LinkedIn, and I would be happy to help you out if I can in any way for this exam. Thank you so much, and see you in the next one.